Pokrovsk, a city under pressure, but not empty. As Russian forces push closer to the front line, evacuation buses arrive. Yet many civilians remain, not fleeing, not disappearing. Staying in a war zone that grows louder by the day. Why? Is it resilience, necessity, distrust, or something far more complex hidden beneath the headlines? While battlefield maps show advances and shifting lines, the real story may lie in human decisions. The families who hesitate, the streets that refuse to go silent, and the fragile balance between military pressure and civilian reality. This is not just another frontline update. This is a closer look at what happens when war moves forward. But life doesn't move away. And in Pokrovsk, the choices civilians make may reveal more about the conflict than any official battlefield report. Pokrovsk sits on a critical logistical axis in eastern Ukraine. Rail lines, supply roads, defensive layers built over months, now under growing pressure. Russian forces have increased reconnaissance activity. Artillery patterns shift, drone surveillance intensifies. Not always dramatic advances, but steady pressure designed to stretch defenses and test response times. Ukrainian units reinforce outer positions, rotations become tighter, movement becomes quieter, fortifications expand, trenches, anti-vehicle barriers, fallback lines mapped in advance. On paper, it's a familiar pattern. Probe, pressure, adjust, repeat. A slow grind rather than a sudden collapse. But military movement alone doesn't define the story. Because behind every frontline map, there are neighborhoods still functioning, markets opening for limited hours, families moving between shelters and apartments, and evacuation announcements echoing through streets that are not yet empty. Pokrovsk is not just a military objective. It is a living city, caught between operational planning and daily survival. Evacuation routes are announced, buses arrive, windows marked, engines idling. Authorities urge civilians to leave while corridors remain open. Some go, quietly, quickly, families with children, the elderly, those with relatives in safer regions, suitcases packed with essentials, documents, medicine, photographs. But many remain. Shops open for short hours. Generators hum in apartment blocks, neighbors exchange information, rumors, updates, warnings passed from phone to phone. Why stay? For some, age and mobility. Leaving is not simple when health is fragile. For others, economics, homes, businesses, livestock, everything tied to one place. And for many, uncertainty. Where to go? How long? What waits on the other side of evacuation? Temporary safety or permanent displacement? There is also adaptation, basements reinforced, windows taped, daily routines compressed into safer hours. Life does not stop, it shrinks, adjusts, survives in fragments. This is the quiet dimension of war, not the sound of artillery, but the weight of decision, to leave or to stay, while the front line inches closer. As the front line tightens, another battle unfolds, not on the ground, but across screens, headlines, and official statements. Different narratives emerge. Some describe rapid advances, others emphasize strong defensive lines. Both sides release footage, drones, briefings, carefully framed updates. Civilian behavior becomes part of the narrative. Images of evacuation buses, footage of residents staying behind. Each clip interpreted differently. Resilience, stability, desperation, normalcy. Information moves fast, verification moves slower. Analysts compare satellite imagery. OSINT, communities track movement patterns, damaged infrastructure, shifting artillery zones. But even open source analysis carries uncertainty. Fog of war is not just physical, it is informational. For viewers watching from afar, the picture feels fragmented. A map here, a video there, a claim followed by a counterclaim. And somewhere between those narratives, the lived experience of civilians continues, mostly unseen, rarely simplified. Because in modern warfare, perception is terrain, and every update, military or civilian, becomes part of a larger strategic message. Pokrovsk is not just another dot on the map. It sits near critical supply corridors, roads that feed ammunition, rotations, logistics. Pressure here is not only territorial, it is operational. If advances tighten around the city, Ukrainian logistics become more complex. Routes lengthen, movement becomes riskier. Every convoy requires more planning, more protection, more time. Russian strategy appears incremental. Probing attacks, drone-guided artillery, testing defensive reactions rather than rushing into costly urban combat. Urban warfare is slow, expensive, unpredictable. Every building can become a position, every street corner a defensive line. For Ukrainian forces, holding terrain means buying time. Time to reinforce, time to reorganize, time to stabilize other sectors. And for civilians still inside the city, each shift in the front line changes daily risk calculations. Shelling distance, drone presence, access to power, water, medical aid. Military pressure and civilian reality move together, not as separate stories, but as parallel timelines. Pokrovsk becomes more than a tactical objective. It becomes a test of endurance, operationally, socially, psychologically. Front lines move in kilometers, but the real impact is measured in decisions, daily, personal, irreversible. In Pokrovsk, the story is not just about advances or defenses. It is about uncertainty, a city balancing between preparation and normality, between evacuation routes and familiar streets. Military pressure continues, defensive lines adjust. Information flows faster than clarity. Some civilians leave, choosing distance over danger. Others remain, choosing familiarity over the unknown. Neither choice is simple. Neither story is identical. And as analysts debate maps and movement, the human dimension quietly shapes the future of the front line. Because modern warfare is not only fought with artillery and drones, it is also fought through endurance of soldiers, of cities, of communities adapting under pressure. For now, Pokrovsk stands in a fragile moment, not fully quiet, not fully abandoned. A living front line where strategy and civilian reality collide every single day. This has been a structured analytical breakdown, focused on context, not sensationalism. Because understanding modern conflict requires more than headlines. It requires patience, perspective, and careful observation. TRX Update. We will continue monitoring verified developments, operational shifts, and the evolving civilian situation on the Donetsk front line. Future updates will focus on confirmed movements, logistical changes, and the broader strategic implications shaping the Russia-Ukraine war. Stay analytical, stay informed, and as always, keep discussions respectful and grounded in facts.